Hello everybody, welcome back to another lesson. Today we are going to discuss exponents. So what are exponents? Well, let's see here. You can use any number as the base. So this number here is called the base. The little number up at the top right is going to be your exponent. So say I have 2 to the second power, or 2 squared. You have your base, which is the big number at the bottom. You have your exponent, which is the little number at the top right. Okay, well, we know what a base and an exponent is now, so what exactly does that mean, is what you're wondering. Well, what it means is repeated multiplication of the same number. So if I have 2 to the second power, that is the same as 2 times 2, which we know would equal 4. So 2 to the second power is 4. So what if I had 5 to the second power? Well, 5 to the second power, that's repeated multiplication of itself. That's going to be 5 times 5, which would equal 25. Let's see here. I have 4 to the third power. 4 to the third, or 4 to the power 3, or 4 cubed. You'll hear that. That's going to equal 4 times 4 times 4. So we'll start at the left here. What is 4 times 4? That's 16. Then you have a times 4. 16 times 4, we need to find that. I'll do a quick multiplication problem for 16 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Keep your 4, carry your 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So 16 times 4 is 64. So 4 to the third power equals 64. So exponents are repeated multiplication of the exact same number. Let's say one more. I have 2 to the fifth. So I got 2 to the fifth power. That's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I am multiplying it by itself 5 times. Your exponent tells you how many times you're multiplying it by itself. Start with 2 times 2 is 4, so you're left with 4 times 2 times 2 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. You have 8 times 2 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. You're left with 16 times 2. Let's do a quick multiplication problem since it's 16 times 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. Keep the 2, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So that's going to equal 32. So 2 to the fifth power is 32. Okay. Here are some rules for exponents. You have any arbitrary number a to the first power. Well, you're going to get the same number back. So let's do some examples here. Let's say I got 2 to the first power. That is literally just 2 by itself. You have 2 once, so it's just 2. Let's say I have 100 to the first power. That's just going to be 100 by itself. So anything to the first power is, or to the power of 1 is itself. Easy enough. Now let's say you have any number to the 0 power, except it can't be 0 to the 0 power. 0 to the 0 power is undefined. We'll go over that in a minute. But any number that's not 0 to the 0 power is 1. That equals 1, where a does not equal 0. Okay, so let's say I have 2 to the 0 power. That's going to equal 1. I have 100 to the 0 power. That's going to equal 1. Any number that's not 0 to the 0 power equals 1. So that brings us to 0 to the 0 power is undefined. Alright, so why is 0 to the 0 power undefined? Short explanation is you could make a case it's either 1 or 0 itself. The answer to which one it is not exactly real clear. So we leave 0 to the 0 power as being undefined. There is no answer for that. But let's say I want to do... Let's do another exponent here. Do a couple more. We have 3 to the 3rd power. So that tells you I have... I'm going to multiply 3 by itself 3 times. So we have 3 times 3 times 3. So I'm taking the base number 3 multiplied by itself 3 times. That's what the exponent tells you. 3 times 3 is 9. You'll have 9 times 3. What is 9 times 3? That's 27. So 3 to the 3rd power is 27. It's good to know some basic shortcuts for some of these exponents so you don't have to sit there and do the multiplication repeatedly. We'll do one more. We do a couple more actually. Let's say I have 5 to the 3rd power. Well, I'm multiplying 5 by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. What is 5 times 5? That's 25. Then you still have a times 5 you got to take care of. So what is 25 times 5? Well, 5 times 5 is 25. Keep your 5, carry your 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So your answer is going to be 125. So 5 to the 3rd power is 125. Let's do a common one here. Let's do a couple common ones here with 10 powers. So if I have 10 to the 1st power, well, that's just going to be 10 because it's by itself. Let's say I want to do 10 to the 2nd power. What's that going to equal? 10 times 10. So remember, when you multiply by 10, you keep your 1. You have an answer of 1. And how many zeros do you have? 1, 2. So 10 to the 2nd power is 100. So then, one more. We'll do 10 to the 3rd. What is 10 to the 3rd power? Well, that's going to be 10 multiplied by itself 3 times. I think my marker's starting to die already. 10 times 10 times 10. Well, we've already determined 10 times 10 is 100. So you're left with 100 times 10. What is 100 times 10? Well, you keep your 1s. 1 times 1 is 1. Then you'll have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So you'd add 3 zeros onto that. 10 to the 3rd is 1,000. So basically, exponents are just repeated multiplication of the same number. And that's really all there is to exponents. For now, we are sticking with 0 and greater exponents called non-negative. Non-negative numbers are basically 0 and greater. There is such a thing as negative exponents. We are not going to get into those for quite a while yet. So we'll stick with 0 and positive exponents for now. But that's it for this lesson. Next lesson we will discuss order of operations of equations. Have a good day.